We're also looking at a piece of art. It's a picture, a painting, and it shows Jesus on a stone plinth. It shows Jesus being mocked. Some people will call it the mocking of Christ, some people call it the humiliation of Christ. It is in between his arrest and detention and crucifixion. These Roman soldiers, one has a flare, torch, one has a spear, there is a cup of water on the bottom, a crown of thorns. They're mocking him with an iris. I can't remember the significance of the vegetation. He is tied up and the soldier is holding the other end of the rope. So it's known as the mocking of Christ, and it shows this biblical scene. It's not a nice scene, but it is an important scene, and it's nicely painted, and it's obviously a good scene. And this is a very close copy of a painting by Van Dyck. So Van Dyck was 1599 to 1614, I think it was, and he worked in Flanders on the continent, and he worked in England as well. And he painted notably pictures of people, portraits. He would paint single people, though he did do women and children as well, and groups. And most Van Dycks I see have the frilly collars, and they show nobility or wealthy people, and it'd be the people who could afford to pay for the pictures, and it would be the people who needed the pictures, wanted the pictures. So it's a copy of Van Dyck. This will be from about 1880. The original title, The Mocking of Christ, is in Princeton University Museum in America. And then will be probably different versions by Van Dyck as well, probably. They would have been much bigger pictures, of course, on canvas. This is on wood. So when the dealers look at the oils on panels, we're looking for old boards. This is not a terribly old board because the wood is machine cut, and it's also quite thin, but not as thin as the floorboard. It's sort of almost like a piece of wood from the back of a wardrobe or a chest of drawers. So what's happened is, in this case, someone's got some flat pine and they have scraped it to give the front a texture against the grain, and it looks like an old piece of wood. The very old continental oils on board are often in oak, and a really nice old one, Dutch one for example, will have often bracing to stop it twisting, and the bracing will go both ways and be very, very carefully made, often with a wax owner stamp. This has had a bracing of sorts on the edge, a moulding. You can see where it was, and this thing's been painted on the back, which is strange, on the outside of the moulding. I don't know why that is. So I thought, when I first saw it, I thought it was a pole screen, but there's no brackets or evidence of brackets which would have held the device for allowing it to go up and down. So I don't think it is a pole screen. It's a bit big as well for a pole screen. And then I thought, well, what is it for? Is it from a chapel? Is it from an organ? Were the two of them? Has it been taken off something? I don't know. Is it from above a fireplace or something like that? I don't know. It's got this groove, which seems to indicate it belongs to something else, or has come off something else. The only other thing I thought it could have been is in medieval Europe, if in a courthouse someone was being sentenced to death, the court attendants would hold a picture of Jesus on a stick in front of their faces while they were receiving their sentence. But I don't think it's that either. It shows some slags, some cloth. It shows the masonry on the floor. It's a nice little thing. It is a copy of Van Dyck, and if anyone in Malta wants to buy something to do with Van Dyck, or they want to buy something to do with Jesus, it's for sale. It's good value because it is a copy from about 1880. Okay, thanks very much.